Red Titus.
Thank you. I have to start this off. I'm not a guy that writes down things. I kind of go off the cuff. I have a PowerPoint, but just seeing that video. Had an amazing career. And I say had because I have 4 months left. That's it, 4 months. And the biggest thing I want to share with you from that video is you notice the cheesy 80 mustache is gone. I know, but I went in one day, my wife said, baby, you got a lot of gray up there, you better trim that. Went in the bathroom, started trimming before I knew it was gone. So no more cheesy 80s mustache. As you saw in there, I'm around 2,400 tactical operations. I am truly the definition of a single-purpose SWAT dog. I'm assigned to Denver's full-time team. I have been for just hit 19 years, coming up on 20, and learned a lot. And what I'm going to share with you is 19 years working with that team, working in the canine world. 25 years of, you saw in there, there were some Schutzen pictures. I've been a Schutzen dog trainer, competitor, four different dogs, 11-time national competitor, went to Germany. Dogs has been my entire life. That's all I know. And I want to share with you my progression, and not just my evolution, but the people I've met. The people that have enhanced my life through the canine world. This is not about training. I mean, there is. But this is about from the mind of, and I hate to say it, an old guy been around for a long time. Spent 4 years in the Air Force, got on Denver PD in '93. So 29, almost 30 years of wearing a gun and a badge, and 20 of those playing with dogs. Evolution of canine. When I started TAC Dogs, not a big traveler at all. And when you get into this industry and you start to share your knowledge and you go out and you train with different people, different agencies, it can be taxing. And when I really realized how hard or how difficult that can be was I was heading towards Michigan. Lower part of southwestern corner of Michigan, and there was a county that I was going to. And I'm a pretty confident guy. I'm thinking, yeah, I got this, but the name of the county was in my head. I couldn't pronounce it. It was D-O-W-G-I-C-K. D-O-W-A-G-I-C-K. How the hell do you say that? Dowagiac. Any Michiganders in here? Okay, how do you know? I didn't know how to say it. There you go. So this was several years ago, back when, look guys, I've got one of those things in your car that hold our coffee. You guys call them a computer? Yeah. Never turned it on. Don't know how they work. So I got a flip phone. So I call my wife who sets these up, and I'm like, hey baby, I don't want to be rude, so I'd like to come up and say, hey, thank you for bringing me to Las Vegas. Thank you for having me here. So I want to know how the heck you say the name of this county. So I call her up, and she's like, baby, I don't know. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? As soon as I pull into town, the first business I come to, I'm going to pull in, I'm going to get out, go in, and say, hey, help me out. How do you say the name of this county? So that's what I do. Pull over, get in, and I walk in, and young lady behind the counter, and I walk up and I say, hey, I know, weird question, but will you do me a favor? Very slowly, very specifically, tell me, how do you say the name of this place? And she looks at me, and she goes, Dairy Queen. So I said to myself, okay, I got to be a little bit more savvy. I got to just stick to not being so much business guy. I just got to talk about what I know. And what I know, what I think I know, or what I've learned is dogs. For me, started off a young age, finding my cause. Got out of high school. My father, at the time back in high school, was a cop. He was a cop in Detroit. And I was like, wow, that's a cool job. I want to do that job. And that was my cause. I had to find my cause. Like most of you in this room, we have to find a cause. What can we do to find that cause? So for me, I knew from an early age, sign me up, I'm in. And looking back now, a cause is one thing. And we all have a cause, we all want to do the right thing, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in this room. Then I said, okay, I found my cause. I know what I want to do, but my passion started shortly thereafter, 1977. I just dated myself. 1977, I'm 7, 8 years old. My dad was a big hunter. And we had some amazing dogs, some Brittany Spaniels. That's what he hunted with. That's what he preferred as a breed. And we're bird hunters. So my dad takes me out hunting with my favorite of all the dogs we ever had, Mandy, the Brittany Spaniel. Now when we hunt, now I'm an 8-year-old kid. And when we hunt, Dad had just a couple rules. Number 1, don't get lost. And number 2, be quiet. All right, I'm 8. Doesn't seem that hard, but I'm 8. So we're out hunting, and before I know it, I've lost focus of where the birds are. It's been an hour or so. I've lost focus of where the birds are. Now, as an 8-year-old boy, I'm sword fighting, right? I'm fighting bad guys left and right. I'm saving the planet and doing all, I'm picking up sticks and whacking weeds, and before I know it, I look, Dad's gone. Throw down my sword and start to, okay, better find him. So I start to walk a little faster. Now I want to yell out, Dad, where you at? But what's rule number 2? Be quiet. So I'm already lost. I don't want to break 2 rules. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be quiet. My pace picks up. My heart starts racing. I've lost Dad. Now I'm lost. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. What am I going to do? As I start to realize that, no, I'm truly lost. I have no idea which direction he went. I start to run in the last direction that I remember he was. I'm starting to cry. I'm bawling my eyes out. Oh my. For an 8-year-old boy lost in the middle of nowhere in Michigan, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm probably gonna die here. I don't know where I'm at. Out of the blue, here comes Mandy. She comes running up to me, a little nub wagging, and hey, let's go. I'm like, oh my God, you're there. Thank you. And she takes off, and I follow. She gets no more than 15, 20 yards and stops and turns around and looks at me. And I'm going, I'm coming. Goes through some thickets. She gets through it pretty easy. I'm tied up. I lose sight of her. I start to panic again, start to cry again. Get through the thickets, and guess what? She's standing there. Come on, let's go. Before I knew it, top of a hill, there's my dad. His back is to me. He doesn't turn around. I know he can hear me. Mandy runs up alongside of him. I come run up. I'm drying my tears. Oh yeah, old man can't know I cried. I wasn't lost. I knew exactly where you were. I'll never forget, as Mandy went up along his side, he says, oh good, you found him. That's where my passion came in. My passion for the amazing things, the amazing way these dogs make us feel. 8 years old. So I have a cause. I want to be a cop. I want to fight bad guys. I want to save the world. Oh wow, wait a minute. And I can do it with passion and do it with dogs. Oh, I'm in. I want to be a canine hammer. The start. We all start in different ways, but I want you to think about this. If you look at the start, there's truly only one road. Several of us have been military start, or police start, or some started military, then went police. it's the start that is so important. Because as we know in today's day and age, it's not easy getting on the job. It's not easy getting to that position. So the start for me, I was fortunate that I was able to get in. I went into the Air Force. Probably don't want to tell you my ASVAB scores. I'm sure I should have been a janitor, but I made it. I finally get on to Denver in '93. So that was my start. So think about where your start was. Things that we see. So we get on, right? We're military, we're law enforcement in the civilian world. Think about the things we see. If I had $1 for every guy I've seen shit his pants, sorry ladies, right? That's what we see. It's that kind of stuff that will affect us the rest of our life. And one of these days, we're going to say to ourselves, I know I've said it over the years a million times, what have I gotten myself into? So there's two ends of the spectrum of that. Is one, what have I got myself into? Or two, the other end of that spectrum is, this is the greatest show on earth. And that's the way I took it. I never regret it. Even the crazy, goofy things that I've seen, no. This is fun to me. Maybe I'm sick and I need to shrink, but we'll talk about that later. It's the things we see that will eventually mold us and make us better. I truly believe that. We have good days. Good days for me is that. Ask yourselves, how many good days have you had? How many bad guys, bank robbers, homicide suspects, rapers, child molesters have we done that to? That's a good day. That's what we do. That's what we start. The start, that's what we started. That's our cause. And to me, even now, 25 years later, on the street, that's a good day. That's a good day. Let's talk about great days. If that's a good day, what's a great day? Finding those that you change their life. You make a difference. Early in my career, I used to take these classes and you have some guy like me stand up and preach this stuff, and I go, I just want to catch bad guys. And that is cool. That's a good day. But now, hindsight, and I'm sharing this with you, especially young guys, don't forget good days and great days. And these are great days. Over the years, the amount of people that I've touched, the amount of lives I've saved, that's a great day. Just don't ever lose track of that. Good days, catching bad guys. Great days are understanding the lives that you touch and the changes that you make. Bad days. We have these. Yeah, well, I've been there. There isn't a person in this room that is perfect. There is nothing in this world that is perfect. We all have bad days. We all make mistakes. Early in my career, before I made SWAT, early in my career, I was charged with assault on a cab driver. That's embarrassing. I can stand up here and tell you that. Cab driver and I got into it and I got charged because I wore a badge. Made it through, went to court, got dismissed by the grace of God, but nonetheless, we all make mistakes. So when you do make that mistake, know we never lose. When you make a mistake, you're not a loser. When you make a mistake, it's simply a lesson learned. And that's the way I had to look at it. Otherwise, it was going to eat me up. So when we make mistakes, we never lose. It's not a losing proposition. It's simply a lesson learned. Learn from your mistakes. Life-changing. We all been there. All been there. Remember the cause. Remember the passion. But then we're going to get hit with these. This is part of what we do. in Denver, I spent 15 years on our rifle team. I have done over a dozen cop funerals. And a good friend of mine who's in the crowd today, Pat Roman, we talked about that on the airplane ride out. I can't do them anymore. Can't do them anymore. And there's a certain part of that I felt guilty. You know, what's wrong with me? No, I can't do it. And the one that got me, the last one that I said, I'm done, quit the rifle team, I'm just done, was Jeremy Bittner out of Colorado. Was killed in the line of duty, and I was at his funeral, and I'll never forget his 3-ish-year-old son. Mom was a mess, and he runs off. It was his plane. He had no idea what he's going to deal with as he got older. So here I am on the rifle team. You got to be crisp and sharp and do everything right, and I lost it. I cried so hard in my shots where I was a mess. So understand, I'm sharing this with you, that it's okay. Sometimes I feel guilty. As you guys know, in Colorado, first of the year, we lost 3 cops. 7 others wounded in 42 days. I could not go to the funerals because it brought me down. And I felt guilt. Till I talked to my family, my peers, and I said, I can't do it anymore. So, life-changing. Expect it. Those of you that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you that are new, expect it. But deal with it. Deal with it. Getting in. We're on the job. We made it. Here we are. Now we want to go to Keynote. I want to go to Keynote. Look at those pictures. How many of you go, oh yeah, I did that? Now, I'm not this question-answer kind of back and forth, because I know a room full of cops, nobody's going to say a damn word. I get it. But I'm asking you a favor. Those of you that are handlers or former handlers, how many of you guys trying to get in that unit went out and decoyed? Give me a hand. Who decoyed? Right? Of course we did. Now, of those hands, how many of those hands took 100 bites? 200. Keep them up. 300. 400. Yeah, we've done it, right? 400 times. You're in that suit and you're tired and you're cold and you're a million different things, but you do it because of the passion of getting in that unit. We all played the game. We all played the game. Getting in is one of the hardest parts. There's politics to it. There's all kinds of things, but we fight to get in. Because those of us that had the cause, those of us that had the passion, that's nothing. That's nothing when you look back. You made it. You made it. Once you make it, everyone in this room that is in this industry that has made it, I want to tell you, I applaud you. One of the hardest units to get in is the K9 unit. It's very difficult. Most departments, now this isn't my opinion, this is from just down and out traveling the country. I've trained since 2009 over 8,000 K9 teams. And all of us have the same story. I had to work my ass off to get in. I had to work really hard. Now there's that occasional guy, do not raise your hands because I don't want to know, well my dad was a chief. No, shh, don't know that. Keep that one, bury that one, right? I know, you're like, no, I know a guy. Yeah, his dad wasn't, he got in, he's a bumbling idiot. No, I know, but for the most part, you really have to work hard to get into Keynote. You're in. You're in, and now, time to meet your partner. Right? How exciting was that? You guys remember that? Right? You're going, however it happened. For me, I'm going to share the story of my first dog, Oscar. Oscar was technically a Malinois. Malinois-ish. That's a breed. That's a breed. Malinois-ish, you watch. It'll be in the dictionary in a couple of years, I promise. Malinois-ish. For me, it was drive out to the airport, pick up your dog. Yeah, I'm so excited. And drive out there, I'm in my police car, get to the airport, signing all this paper, and I'm like a little kid. Damn dog, right? I'm excited. Here they come, he's on a cart, big sky crate. They roll him out, and I'm kind of, okay, I'm looking at a little bit apprehensive, okay, what do we have? Now, I am not a Malinois guy. I'm not a shepherd guy. I want the dog that works today. Back then, oh no. Oh no. I want that perfect looking dog, that shepherd, beautiful black saddle, big head. Oh my God, because I'm talking like supermodel stuff, him and I. We're going to go out and, oh, we look so good. I open up the door of the crate. Out comes Oscar. He's about 90-pound, Malinois-ish. His ears were huge. His ears were too big for his head. His head was too big for his body. And he had one paw that looked like a club foot. And I look at him and I'm going, what the hell is that? Comes out, tails wagging, happy guy. I'm like, okay, well, come on, let's go over here. Now, let's be honest. Let's put ourselves in Oscar's paws. Oh shit, I'm here in Denver. I'm excited. Can't wait to hit the street. What's this guy? What is with that mustache? So we get him out and the training begins. When the training began, the drive I saw in him and how social he was an absolute saint. If you could have a perfect dog, looks aside, he was in. And all of a sudden, he became the most beautiful creature on the planet, next to my wife. Hi, baby. Meeting your partner should be, and if it's not, life-changing. As with a marriage, as with family. That partner is there for you come life or death. So meeting your partner is huge. Don't ever forget that first moment. For he and I, it wasn't quite love at first sight. But boy, shortly thereafter, and I will forever be humble to be able to have a dog like that, to be able to work a dog like that. So meeting your partner, for me, has been one of the greatest moments of the canine world. Go through training, we're ready. The street, time to hit the street. Time to hit the street. Just when you think you're ready. You go through X amount of week of training, you feel confident, your dog's pretty darn good, and you're ready to go. If you guys remember like I do, the first search I ever had, kick him off leash, I just about passed out. Wait a minute. You want me to do what? And I'm looking for who? That is one of the hardest moments of my life that I'll never forget. Kicking that son of a gun off lead. Oh my God, here we go. What's going to happen? First search, nothing. Fourth search, fifth search. In Denver, we're pretty busy. I missed 5 apprehensions with my dog. 5 in a row. Wasn't his fault, wasn't necessarily my fault, but the other team found him. The one I'll share with you that I'll never forget, I'm so angry. Bad guy, running, hear it on the radio. He's coming westbound. He's heading towards the alley. I'm in the alley. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, here we come. I'm shaking. Here comes bad guy, over the fence. He's all the way up at top of the fence. Dog's right there, just about to send him, and bad guy, poof, disappears. It's like a horror movie. He's just boom, gone. And I'm like, well, what the hell happened? The other handler's dog caught him before he got over the fence and pulled him down. I'm like, I suck. I think I'm going to go to traffic. No offense, traffic guys, I love you. Tickets are great. Don't know how to ride one, but I'm sure they're great. First bite. First bite. I'm a single purpose dog. I have I just bite people. I don't, the dog does. You understand? So, first bite. No other dogs are on duty that night. It's mine. It's mine. It's got to be mine. Mouth of the alley, auto theft suspect, send the dog down the alley. Finds bad guy laying under, I'll never forget, an old Volkswagen bus. Finds bad guy, pulls him out. This is a big Malinois-ish. Pulls the bad guy out, and I come running up, and I find myself standing there in awe. It really happened. That's what a dog bite looks like. That's amazing. Oh God, I better do something. Back then, didn't have an out. Out to my dog then was French for bite harder. As he's biting that guy's leg, I'm thinking, okay, you're not listening to me, which, okay, I knew that. I start to go around and grab him. And before I know it, we look like the Keystone Cops. Dog's pulling this one, I'm going. He won't let go, he's spinning bad guy around on the concrete. Eventually, of course, I grab him by the tail, closest thing I can get, pull him back to me, lift him off out my dog. I promise you, you'll never forget your first bite or your last. I'm not on last yet, so I can't share that story. I'm close. I'm close. So meet your partner. What an amazing moments we have in the early days of our career. The progression. The progression, I would arguably say, the progression for everyone in this room, it's the same road. It really is. If you break it down, if you ask everybody in the room, same types of things that have happened, it's the same road. Now, you may be left of the road, I may be the right, sometimes you're both in the middle, but it's the same road. And when I talk about the progression, it has to do with time and grade. So you're 1 to 5 year guys. 1 to 5 year guys. We're learning. We're stumbling through. We're making mistakes. We're going, okay, I won't do that again. I won't look like the Keystone Cop again. Right? That 1 to 5 years. I will take this moment, and as I exit this industry, respectfully ask 1 to 5 year guys, don't go out and open companies. Don't be dog trainers yet. Takes a while. Okay? 1 to 5 year guys. We'll talk about when to do that, in my opinion, but 1 to 5 year guys, learn a little bit more. Okay? Now, if you got a story, you got a deployment that was totally crazy and amazing, you can share, yes, please do. Okay? But 1 to 5 year guys, think about it. We got time. 5 to 10. 5 to 10, some of us, probably on your second dog, starting to figure it out. For me, this is the time that I moved to SWAT. It was on my second dog. The SWAT team did not want me as a canine handler near the team because Oscar and I, we were a yard sale. Oscar bit a lot of people. Problem was, they weren't all bad guys. Bad day. Bad days. 5 to 10, I get my second dog, Stinger. And one of the very first SWAT operations where I really made a difference. How many of you guys have heard, if there's one suspect, there's two. If there's two, there's three. Ask yourselves, realistically, who believes that? Right, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it, tackle, yeah, okay, that's great. I was the same way. FBI sets up on a house, wanted guy, wanted for murder. They say, hey, we've been on this house all night. There's nobody in there but a female that came home late and bad guy. We've been here for 24 hours, we know he's in there. Boom, surround the house, throw in some gas, he doesn't come out. Who does come out is a female and another male, not our suspect. I thought you said nobody else. This is not any FBI guys in here? All right, I'm not bagging on the FBI, I love them, don't get me wrong. So FBI says, no, okay, yeah, all right, we might have missed that guy, but there's nobody else. So SWAT calls me in, and this is rare in Denver at the time. We didn't quite, SWAT and K-9 did a lot of this. They'd use us on this, that, or the other, but it wasn't really that cohesive of a group. Call me in. Now I have to perform. Uh-oh. I'm up the bat. This is the big one. Send the dog down in the crawl space. I hear the screams. Okay, I give up. I jump down, SWAT jumps down over there. Dog's biting the guy. Out him, because I learned how to out my dog. Out him, bring him back to me. Great, got him. Yes. Take him upstairs. FBI said, nope, not our guy. Wait a minute. What do you mean not your guy? Now I start to panic because then it dawns on me. Bad guy goes up the crawl space access, and my dog is focused this way, shaking. And I'm like, ooh, that's scary. Send him again. Boom! Bite number 2. Wow. Oh my God. I cannot believe God loves policemen, really loves canine handlers. By the grace of God, this guy did have his gun. We ended up finding his pistol right next to him. He just chose not to shoot it out. Dog grabbed him by the butt. Nice bite, right in the butt cheek. Pulls him out. Boom. Got him out of there. Was our bad guy. Oh, thank God. On a stupid at the time request, the SWAT sergeant says, why don't you go ahead and finish clearing the basement? I'm thinking, what are the odds? What are the odds? Pretty goddamn good. Send dog in, boom, 3rd bite. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. There is a way. 3 bites, 1 time, SWAT's like, you're in. We love what that dog can do. We'd have never found those guys. And that's that progression. But that took me a while. I had to be able to out my dog. I had to be able to have that control. I had to be able to be in a tight situation like that and have confidence he's going to do his job. To that degree, I would have never thought. But hey, it worked out. Now, don't get me wrong. I would rather be lucky than good any day of the week. So there was a lot of luck involved in that, for sure. But that was 5 to 10. 10 to 15. Now, start a business. If you got some good deployments, you got some good techniques, yeah, go out there and teach. Start to really understand what you're doing. And maybe at this time, towards the 15 part, you may be on your 3rd dog. I mean, hopefully you had really healthy dogs. They last a long time, but you never know. But this is when you start to really become good. 15 to 20. Now I encourage. 15 to 20 years working a dog, share your knowledge. Not just share your knowledge, but be a mentor. Be a leader. Not a manager. Not a supervisor. I hate those. Be a leader. Take your knowledge, take your experience, take what you've learned from those, what you've seen, good days, great days, life-changing days, take those now and start to pass that knowledge on. And that's important. There is no better way to teach than from experience. No better way. We can theory things to death. Theory, death, a lot of theory stuff I've seen can get somebody killed. So 15 to 20 year guys, yes, teach. Teaching is one of the most life-fulfilling things. To stand up here right now, I'm going to have a rush off of this for years. To be honored, to stand here in front of a room of professionals, a room of warriors, it's amazing. And I want you to experience that if you haven't already. But that's 15 to 20. 20 plus. All right, here we go, old guys. I want you to really take this to heart. This will be one of the most profound things I say during this speech. 20 year plus. Let the new guys do it. We're done. Have fun, take a nap. Let the new guys do it. And that's where I'm at now. And sometimes it's hard. Got an operation, and I'm ready to go, and there's a new guy. Okay, you do it. And then they light up. Now I sit in the background going, no, we're good, bro. And I'm going, damn, I missed that. But it's the right thing to do. Let the new guys do it. We've earned it. We've earned it. Step back, teach, show them. I love going in with my guys without my dog, and I'm watching them work, whispering in their ear, helping them out. That's so rewarding. So 20 plus, I hate to say it, time to let go a little bit. Let the new guys do it. The industry. Beat up on this a little bit. How far have we come? Where are we at? And evolution. Everything has evolved. Guys, some of you guys in this room, I'm sure, some of you younger guys have no idea what it was like to call home to your family. You had to pull into the 7-Eleven, put quarters in the phone to say goodnight to your kids. Everybody is. The younger guys are like, what the hell is a quarter in what phone? Right? So evolution, everything evolves, but you cannot evolve without change. And I see the industry sometimes not evolving. We're stuck back. I've seen crap that we were doing back in the 80s. That's like me with a big brick phone in the 80s. It's time to evolve. This stuff, it's got to change. This is not the 80s. This is recent. That's just wrong. Now, I'm going to be the first one to stand up here and tell you, my first dog, when I started, the way I was taught, the methods we used, I was brutal. I was the fry the dog, the alpha roll the dog, the helicopter the dog. I was that guy. Never felt right. I did it. Never felt right. I vowed to myself after my first dog, I would never do that again. And I haven't. You don't need to be that guy. I think we could all stand here and I would respect every single person in this room about the way they train, the way they do. But when we go to this level, no, done. Nope, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. So we need to evolve. We need to get away from this. When you see it, if you see it, and I hope you guys never do, but this is the way I grew up, and it was miserable. It was miserable. I want to talk about crabs and canines. You know what? It just hit me. Crabs, Vegas. Not those crabs. That's not what I'm talking about. Should have thought that one through a little bit more. This was taught to me years ago. There's a certain type of crab. They're very agile, very fast. And single, they're very hard to catch. But now, they are caught by the thousands. So when you go to that seafood buffet, this is how they get them. These crabs, the reason they're caught by the thousands is because of a human trait. A human trait. Put some big open, see how open that pot is? Big open hole in the pot. Put some bait in the bottom of the pot. One crab goes in, starts chewing the bait. Other crabs see it. Oh, look what he's got. I think I'll join him. Before you know it, dozens of crabs are in there, even when the bait is gone. The other crabs are seeing, well, the other guys are in there. I should probably be in there. Pretty soon the bait's gone, and still more crabs come. Well, you guys are there. Why wouldn't I be? When you see that one crab that says, bait's gone, I'm out of here. He starts to go up the edge of that crate, or the cage. The other crabs pull him down. Pull him right down. Whoa, where are you going? We're all right here. Then that crab says, no, I'm out of here. Oh, no, you're staying here. And this is actually documented that these crabs will kill him. Rip them off the side of that cage and kill them. Because of the herd. The herd says, well, we're right here. And that's what I see in our industry. Don't follow the herd. If you have something sound, if you have something good, don't follow the herd. For me, in my career, early on, I had to get out of the cage. Because I said to myself, I gotta stop beating on my dog. He's like the coolest guy ever. He's actually now quite beautiful. He has actually saved my life. Why am I kicking his butt? The minute I said that, I was that crab trying to crawl out. And guess what the other crabs did? You're an idiot. What do you know? I'm going to pull you back down. I saw too many failures on the street. Now, I won't get too deep into training, but I quit using bite equipment, bite suits, years ago. Years ago. Got pulled off the side of the cage. But I eventually said to myself, I'm doing the right thing. So I am going to get out of the cage, and I did. And to be completely open and honest, it sucked. It sucked. There were portions of my career that I got beat up. I got beat up in the media. I just got beat up because a lot of guys were hammering me because I wasn't following the herd. But now, looking back, I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of folks like you that I've touched. People that work with me, the guys that are here with me. Amazing, amazing handlers. We're all doing the same thing, so now it's just not one crowd. We've all gotten out of that cage. So be careful of things like, well, it's just the way we've always done it. Oh, that's what we all do. Doesn't mean it's right. If you have something good meaning you've tested it, right? The best training comes from experience. If you've done it and you know it works and it's against the grain, speak up. Speak up. Get out of the cage. The most successful people are not the smartest, nor are they the most educated. It's the ones willing to change. That quote was given to me by one of the most successful businessmen in this country. And I thought about it. And change is hard sometimes, especially if you're that solo crab trying to get out of the cage. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Definition of insanity. Ask yourselves, how many weeks, months, perhaps years have you been doing the same thing to teach your dog to out? Where are you getting? Still don't out. Still don't out real good. So what do? Well, we're going to keep working more. We're going to still keep doing out. We're just insane. Change it up. For me, Oscar, we were out on the field doing recalls. My trainer at the time, his brilliant idea, this was before I even thought about looking at the hole in the cage, go out and spend a couple $100 on 60-foot parachute line. Put on some big, heavy-duty, 1,500-pound carabiners on the end, put that on your dog. We're going to tie that other end to the bumper of your car, and we're going to put the decoy at 63 feet. And we're going to send it. And we're going to send it. And we're going to send it. And we did it that night to the tune of probably, not exaggerating, 20, 25 times. Definition of insanity. And guess what Oscar did every time? Hit the end, flipped over. Hit the end, flipped over. No, we almost got him. Keep going, keep going. I eventually got to the point where he was a bloody mess, tongue hanging out, and I let it happen. So I did go to my trainer, took the leash off dog, walked in the car. He said, whoa, whoa, what are you doing, big guy? I'm done. I ain't doing this anymore. If this is what it takes, then maybe you got to find somebody else because I can't do it. Put the dog in the car. Went home. Next morning, my wife gets up before me and gonna let the dog out. He is laying on his bed, drooling so bad, shaking from the pain. She said to me, she wakes me up, she's crying. What did you do? She was absolutely right. What did I do? That was another defining moment in my life that I said, I'm getting out of the cage. I will not practice insanity anymore. I'm done. I'm going to figure out another way, or I'm going to seek help from others. I'm going to look for, hey, how did you do it? How did you do it? Once I made that decision, my career and my life became better. So think about that. Get out of that cage if you're in that cage. Let's talk about duty. Duty. As handlers, we have a very unique duty, unlike any other in law enforcement, if you think about it. I love this quote. All men are afraid in battle. The coward is the one that lets their fear overcome his sense of duty. And duty is the essence of manhood. Don't care how many operations I've been on. I'm telling you right now, I'm afraid every single time we're going in. I don't want to die. I've got a great life. I don't want my partner to die. I sure as hell don't want my teammates to die. So as a canine handler, the duty for us takes it to a whole nother level. Because a handler's duty is equal to other cops, but it's far more. And that comes from, what do we do? What's our number one duty? Protecting. Protecting our brothers and sisters, protecting our teams, protecting ourselves. And by use of that dog, like no other tool in law enforcement can do and protect the way that that dog does. Now, yes, I'm surrounding this with bite dogs because that's all I know. But you purpose detection dog guys, how many lives do you save when you find an explosive? How many lives do you save when you hit that mother-loaded dope? So it's not just protecting each other, it's protecting our community, it's protecting our society, it's protecting our way of life. That's pretty deep. But you think about it, and that's what we do. And yes, other positions in law enforcement, you can add that in, but not to the degree that we can with the use of that dog, with the use of your partner. We all know thin blue line. Thin blue line is the line between law and order and anarchy. When you look at that, we see this all the time, it's everywhere, thus it should be. But don't forget how important that line really is. I learned several years ago, I don't like the word thin blue line. It's only thin when cops get themselves in trouble. Okay, then everybody hates us, and that line seems really thin because it hurts us. We don't want to do anything. It gets really thin when we lose a brother or sister. That line got really thin when we lost 5 cops in one operation in Dallas. So thin blue line. I want to take that away. What we need to do is make that line thicker. Let's put a bigger barrier up between law and anarchy. How do we do that? I think, number one, camaraderie. Things like this. We're all here together. We're all taking care of each other. The camaraderie in our industry, being cops, is huge, huge. We would all, everybody in this room, every single one of us would die for each other. Take that to the nth degree, because not every cop understands what it's like to work a dog. And we have that extra burden of having that dog. So that's how that line starts to get thicker. Now we're going to take it one step further, and I want this word to resonate. I want this word to come back. I know in my department, it has been taken out of our operations manual. It's been taken out. If there's any books in our police library that say warrior, we can't have it because it's not politically correct. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we are warriors. That's what we do. I don't care who it offends. I don't care who gets hurt feelings. We're warriors. But that word is starting to go away because we've got to be softer. We've got to be kinder. We've got to be gentler. Anybody needs a hug, come on up. I'll give you a hug. But God bless it, you're still a warrior. That makes that line thicker, is understanding what it is we do. We protect everybody from anarchy. That's a warrior. Take it one more step. Boom, a warrior with a dog. Now we're talking. That's how we make that line thicker. We're losing depending on how you look at it, but in my opinion, we're losing the battle because we're losing who we are as cops. I love it when I go to Starbucks, go to pay for my coffee, and the lady says, "Oh, the guy in front of you just paid for it." I get emotional. Because I get tired of watching the media and seeing these things, that how bad we are. No, we're not. We are the ones that are making that line thicker, that are keeping that anarchy from the good people. So don't ever forget that. In the dog world, I believe, is the biggest, thickest part of that line. So we have capabilities unlike any other tool, any other genre in law enforcement. So is it worth it? Found our cause, found our passion. We get beat up, we see death, destruction. But then we have camaraderie, and we have moments. We have moments that are unforgettable. Catching bad guys, changing lives. Is it worth it? 25 years. The answer, yep. Yep. You're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your good and bad days. But is it worth it? Looking back now, I wouldn't change a thing. Had other paths. Oh, if I would have went right, I'd have made more money. My experiences, my friends, to stand here in front of you, priceless. No amount of money would ever take me away from the last 25 years. Last thing, canine world. Scored a good wife, too. I did good. Thanks, baby. Embrace the time. Embrace the time, this moment that you're in now. Because before you know it, a blink of an eye, you're going to be where I'm at. I'm like, wait a minute. I just started last week. Now I got to retire? What? Embrace it. It's worth it, and it's the best thing I promise you you'll ever do in your life. Is have that bond, work that dog, and save lives. I want to just take, as I finish up here, wrap up, I want to take one last moment. Those of you that your Facebook, I'm not a big Facebook guy, but I did look, because she told me to look. But this conference is here for a reason. It's to bring us together, camaraderie, to teach warriors to be warriors, to teach warriors to be warriors with dogs. These are priceless. I've been to dozens of these. It's priceless. I don't know everybody in this room. Matter of fact, a lot of faces I don't know. But I look forward to meeting and talking with every single one of you. That's an honor. I bring that up because I know Jason. I've known Jason for years. Jason has always been good to me because he respects what I've done in his career field. He got beat up. Read the newspaper articles. I saw it. I read it. I had already vetted him years ago. I already looked him up. I already knew all the stuff that he got accused of. The reason I'm sharing this with you, because I've been hit like that too. Tortured in the media over something I didn't do. Understand this. No matter how you feel about anybody, especially in law enforcement, there's always going to be two sides of the story. It bothered me when I saw that, and it bothered me, ladies forgive me, in the chicken shit way that was done. I am so glad, so proud, so honored that you guys are here. Although he's under a gray cloud, let me tell you, we've all been under gray clouds. Look into it, do your own homework. Look at the facts and what he has done for this industry. I have to tell you, Jason's a good guy. I wouldn't be here if he wasn't. And I also talked to several other of my mentors, my friends in this industry, and we all said the same thing. So I just want to throw it out there because I know how it feels. My family back in Denver got beat up by the media. None of it was true, completely exonerated. But when it hit halftime of a Broncos game, that I was a double dipper and I made too much money as a Denver cop, embarrassing. At the end of the day, that's all people will remember. They don't do a story saying, oh, yeah, we were wrong. That's all they remember. So just think about that. I just want to bring that to your attention because it really bothered me. I want to thank you again. I want to let you know how important it is that your job is in this society, in this country. Don't ever let that go. Number one, the rest of your career, train to the best ability you can. Go home every night to your family and your loved ones. God bless you. Thank you.